One of the other quotes that we've sort of gotten from the research is that you sort of feel that there is not actually a war on women, but there may be a war on what's inside of women. Is that accurate?
Yeah, the babies. I mean, we're killing babies all over the place. And, you know, we should be... I think people can probably understand. In my case, I spent my entire career trying to preserve life and give people quality of life, even operating on babies in the womb, operating all night long sometimes on premature babies. And I get to meet those people, you know, when they're adults and productive adults. There is no way you can convince me that they're not important, that they're just a mass of cells and that you can do anything to them.
I want to ask you this. Have you met with the women who have to make these horrendous decisions when they have to make them of whether or not they can bring a child into the world? I mean, we talk about bringing children into the world all the time, but periodically, some women feel, I just can't. And are you empathetic to them? Because we just had
empathetic.
Oh, good. Go ahead, sorry. Go
very
ahead.
Empathetic. And what I have said is that this is a job for us in the private sector. What we need to do is make sure that we provide adequate daycare centers for these mothers so that they can get their GED, their associate's degree, their bachelor's degree, their master's degree.
You're assuming that these are mothers who aren't educated. I mean, I'm talking about women who make
most
that.
Of them.
I don't know that you can.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you a fact. Let me tell you a fact. The fact is, a lot of those young girls who are having babies out of wedlock, when they have that first baby, they stop their education. And that child is 4 times as likely to grow up in poverty. We as a society have an obligation to do what's necessary to stop that cycle from occurring.
So how important is birth control, then, to the Republican Party? They should be out there really applauding Planned Parenthood for supplying birth control, mammograms, and everything else. Why are they against Planned Parenthood? Are you against birth control, too?
I don't speak for the Republican Party. I speak for me.
Okay, for yourself. Are you against birth control also?
No, I'm not.
Okay. All right. And so I guess you believe in daycare centers and maternity leave and food stamps and all the things that go along with raising a kid if you don't have the money.
Here's what I believe in, because I get sick and tired of people, particularly progressives, saying Carson grew up poor. He must have benefited from government programs, and now he wants to withdraw all the programs from poor people.
We did not assume
Wait a minute. I've heard that so many times. You've heard it too. It's a bunch of crap. And what I really actually want to do is provide people with a mechanism for coming out of a state of dependency and climbing the ladder and becoming part of the fabric of America.
This is a great thing.
We agree with that.
Yes, but I think my question... Actually, I'm going to let everybody else ask their questions.
It takes me to Obamacare, because you said it's the worst thing that has happened in this nation since slavery. How is it slavery and over 9 million people have it?
Let me tell you why.
Why?
Because this is supposed to be a country that is of, for, and by the people. The government is supposed to be there to facilitate life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. With this particular act, the government comes along and says, don't care what you people think. This is what we're doing. We're cramming it down your throat, and if you don't like it, too bad.
Getting into the war.
That essentially shifts.
Because we did that. We've done that. That seems to be the way of the nation.
But it shifts the relationship between the people and the government. The people are supposed to be at the pinnacle. The government works for us. It's not the other way around. And we need to restore that.
Okay.
That's very important.
All right. Are we done?
Anybody else?
I just wanted to ask one last thing. I mean, you said that you don't necessarily relate to the Republicans, and you don't really say you're a Democrat either. So why do you feel this way?
I said I don't speak for the Republicans. I didn't say I didn't relate to them.
Yeah.
It's a very different thing.
Is there anything about the Republicans that you don't relate to?
Well, I am not a highly partisan person. The issues that affect us are imminent financial collapse if we don't change our ways.
Forgive me, Dr. Ben.
You know,
Forgive me.
They're not Republican or Democrat issues.
Dr. Ben Carson, y'all. Members, wait. Members of the audience, you're all going home with Dr. Ben's book, A More Perfect Union. Thank you, Dr. Ben. I'm sorry. Governor Mike, I assume that in talking about all of these medical and health benefits that you are taking into consideration, because I've looked over some of your comments about abortion. I found them troubling. You said that there are two victims. One is the child, the other is the birth mother. Do you think that guilting somebody who's already making a really horrific choice in their life is really the way to go?
No, in fact, Whoopi, it's the opposite of that. I think you don't put guilt on the mother.
Except, sir, that's kind of what you said. You kind of said.
The bad person in this. No.
So you don't
think
that...
in fact, that's why I said that I think often the birth mother is a victim.
And so if someone makes a choice that they have to make, why wouldn't you be supportive of that? It's not your body. It's not your life. These people are making choices they have to make. Why wouldn't you be supportive of that? I think that's what I'm asking.
Right, and I think that's a fair question, Whoopi, but the fact is it's really not just an extension of the body of the mother. It's a separate body. It's a separate life. It has a different DNA imprint than the mother does. May not even share the same blood type. So it's not like it's her organ.
Are you willing to take on these children, Governor Mike? Because I notice no one seems to give poor women any money to do anything. Because the only people we're talking about here are women who don't have money. Women who have money can do what they need to do.
Rich women have always been able to get an abortion, no matter where they have to go to get one.
Mike, you're going to have to come back. You're going to have to come back. There's more to talk to you about that.
Now, the argument is that none of the federal money pays for abortion, that is separate funding, and that by defunding Planned Parenthood, you would be eliminating all these other vital medical procedures, which you as a doctor know. I know you oppose legal abortion, but what's your response to Ms. Legance?
My response would be that all of the services that she mentioned are available through multiple other sources. And to take an organization that not only makes money by selling baby parts, but doesn't seem to understand the sanctity of human life and is willing to destroy that. An organization whose founder believed in eugenics.
You're talking about Margaret Sanger.
Yes, and even to the plurality of their clinics are in minority communities.
Mm-hmm. Well, doesn't that make the argument that they would make, which is that the services that you're talking about, forget abortion for a second, but the services you're talking about are not available everywhere, and that's where minorities and people who are lower income get mammograms and treatment for STDs and birth control, et cetera?
I thought that they were supposed to be able to get all of those things based on Obamacare. Why do we need Planned Parenthood? I thought that they were supposed to be able to get all of those things based on Obamacare. Why do we need Planned Parenthood?
Oh, snap.
Let's set aside for one moment the debate about whether or not abortion is a constitutional right. I would submit that it is not. You can read the Constitution, squeeze lemon juice on it, hold it upside down. It's just not in there. But let's assume it was. Let's assume it was sort of invisibly there as part of the Bill of Rights. Right up there with free speech and right up there with the right to religion and the right to assembly and so on. Here's my question to you. Why should the abortion right be subsidized when none of our other fundamental rights are? I mean, you have a right to free speech. Does the government give you money to start a newspaper? You have a Second Amendment right to own a gun. Is the government going to buy you a shotgun? You have a right to free assembly. You got to do it on your own time. You have a right to free exercise of religion. The government's not going to pay for your churches. So, since the government pays for none of our other fundamental rights, why does this right get to be in a category of itself?
Pour 5 minutes.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Quand je vous écoute sur ces bancs de l'hémicycle, je repense à l'adage qui vit de combattre un ennemi a tout intérêt à le laisser en vie. Pour justifier vos lubies, vous menez sous respiration artificielle des combats gagnés depuis longtemps déjà. Vous agitez des menaces qui n'existent pas, des adversaires fantômes. La vérité, c'est que personne aujourd'hui dans le spectre politique ne menace la légalité de l'avortement ou son libre accès. C'est vous qui régulièrement, trop régulièrement sûrement, réactivez les débats sociétaux, probablement pour masquer d'ailleurs vos lamentables échecs sur le plan économique et en particulier sur la situation précaire de beaucoup de femmes et de mamans seules. La réalité, c'est que vous êtes des féministes ringardes, les dinosaures politiques d'un temps 68 art révolu. Aujourd'hui, et c'est heureux, il serait temps de vous en rendre compte, les femmes peuvent voter, elles peuvent travailler ou ne pas travailler, elles peuvent se marier, elles peuvent divorcer, elles peuvent prendre des contraceptifs, elles peuvent avorter si elles le souhaitent. Ce qui est moins heureux en revanche, c'est que beaucoup de femmes avortent pour des raisons économiques. 47% selon un sondage IFOP de 2010. Un choix subi auquel vous n'apportez aucune solution, vous n'en parlez même pas d'ailleurs. Non, Madame le Ministre, l'alternative à l'IVG, ce n'est pas uniquement, je vous cite, une grossesse non désirée menée à son terme. Cela peut aussi être une femme qui a le bonheur de pouvoir garder un enfant en évitant un avortement subi, parce qu'elle a su trouver l'accompagnement et l'encadrement nécessaires. Je vous le dis, et je le pense sincèrement, vous êtes la honte du combat des femmes. Obsédées par la couleur du cartable, le sexisme de la grammaire, le jouet rose des Kinder, la répartition du temps de vaisselle dans le couple. Complètement à côté de la plaque, complètement à côté des vraies menaces qui planent aujourd'hui sur la liberté des femmes. Je note votre silence coupable sur les 1200 femmes agressées sexuellement en Allemagne à la Saint-Sylvestre par les migrants, par exemple. Je pense à votre silence sur la charia, la loi islamique qui s'applique aujourd'hui dans certains quartiers de France et qui interdit aux femmes les libertés les plus élémentaires. Je comprends que ça vous gêne puisque votre grand champion, Benoît Hamon, voit dans ce grignotage islamiste la continuation du machisme franchouillard des ouvriers. Quel aveuglement coupable, pour ne pas dire complice ou peut-être même électoral. Votre aversion du patriarcat incarné par le mâle blanc hétérosexuel vous a conduit, beaucoup d'entre vous en tout cas, à la collusion avec toutes les minorités qui partageaient cette aversion avec vous, sacrifiant ainsi toute cohérence sur les idées et les combats. Féministes, islamistes, LGBT, même combat. Et c'est ainsi que celles qui se présentent aujourd'hui comme les garantes du droit des femmes à disposer de leur corps sont les mêmes à défendre leur soumission par le voile et leur marchandisation par les mères porteuses. N'est-ce pas, Madame Le Morton, par exemple? À ce sujet, serait-il possible de m'éclairer, Madame la Présidente de Commission, quand vous expliquez dans votre discours qu'un enfant souffre que des parents puissent parler de lui comme un accident, je cite, que suggérez-vous? Qu'il eût mieux valu qu'il fût avorté? Je ne comprends pas la suggestion. Va falloir m'expliquer. Parce que ne vous en déplaise, et je me permets cette impudeur parce qu'elle est une notoriété publique, vous avez devant vous un accident qui se vit bien et qui préfère aujourd'hui être devant vous à vous dire vos vérités plutôt que d'avoir été avorté. Alors enfin, puisque vous en faites le reproche aux hommes élus sur ces bancs, moi je suis une femme et je vous le dis, ce texte contre les femmes et contre la liberté d'expression